many carbons? 8 carbons. This is an isomer of octane. They call it isooctane because it's an isomer of octane. It's also made up of 8 carbons, but how those 8 carbons are arranged are different to the regular octane. In octane, all those carbons are connected one after the other. Here, those carbons are not all connected in a chain. So this is the isooctane. This is the common name. Now it's asking you, what is the IUPAC name? Because this is the common name of this one, but we don't want that one. We want the IUPAC name of this one. Okay, so let's look at this one. Let's apply the rule 1 and rule 2 and rule 3 for this one. First rule is find the longest carbon chain. How many carbons are we seeing there? 5 carbons. Okay, so this is your parent chain. Anybody know what's a 5 carbon parent chain? Pentane, correct. Those that are not part of the parent are known as substituent, and so we have this substituent right here. We have another substituent right here, and another substituent right here. So we have 3 substituents. Anybody know what's the name of those substituents?
Methyl.
Methyl, correct. So there are 3 methyl groups. Now we apply rule number 3. Says number the end from the end that will give you the lower numbering on the parent, on the first carbon with the substituent. Okay, so let's look at this one. The first carbon with the substituent, if you go left to right, is 1 carbon. Second carbon has a substituent. Okay, so first carbon with the substituent, if you go left to right, is carbon number 2. And you go in a right to left manner, first carbon with the substituent is carbon number what? Carbon number 2 also. So they're tied. So we now look at note number 1. It says in case you have the same number on the first carbon with the substituent, then we have to go on the second, on the third until you break the tie. Okay? Much like your basketball, if you're watching the NBA finals, the first 2 games were tied on regulation. So if it's tied on regulation, they don't just say, hey, game over. What do? They go overtime. Okay, the same here. If you're tied on the first carbon with a substituent, you go to the next carbon with a substituent. If you go left to right, second carbon with a substituent is what? Left to right is still carbon number 2 because carbon number 2 has 2 substituents. And you go right to left, 1, 2, the next carbon with the substituent is carbon number what? Carbon number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because this one is a lower number on the second carbon, this is not the right numbering. We have to go here because the next second carbon is still carbon number 2 here, but the next one is already a 4 if you number it 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so the correct numbering is 2 left to right because you have a carbon 2 and a carbon 2. Okay, so that's what note 1 is telling you. So in this case, we now indicate where are the substituents. So we have carbon number 2 has your substituent, methyl. Carbon number 2 has your other methyl substituent. What's the other number?
4.
Carbon number 4. Okay, 2, 2, 4. And then there's 3 of them. What's the prefix for 3?
Tri.
Tri. And then these are all methyl. So trimethyl. And then what? Pentane. So if they ask you, what is the IUPAC name of isooctane? Because isooctane is the hydrocarbon, one of the many hydrocarbons in your gasoline. The correct answer is 2,2,4, trimethyl pentane. Okay, let's give you some more examples here.